Glory to God the Father and Son Yeshua Mashiach. 2 Samuel chapter 22. Psalm of Thanksgiving. David said the words of this song to Adonai on the day Adonai delivered him from the power of all his enemies and from the power of Shaul. He said, Adonai is my rock, my fortress and deliverer. The God who is my rock, in whom I find shelter, my shield, the power that saves me, my stronghold and my refuge. My Savior, you have saved me from violence. I call on Adonai, who is worthy of praise, and I am saved from my enemies. For death's breakers were closing over me, the floods of Belial terrified me. The ropes of Shaul were wrapped around me, the snares of death lay there before me. In my distress I called to Adonai, yes, I called to my God. Out of his temple he heard my voice, and my cry entered his ears. Then the earth quaked and shook, the foundations of heaven trembled. They were shaken because he was angry. Smoke arose in his nostrils, and from his mouth, devouring fire, with coals blazing from it. He lowered heaven and came down with thick darkness under his feet. He rode on a cherub and flew, he was seen on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his canopy around him, thick clouds in the skies dense with water. From the brightness before him, fiery coals flamed out. Adonai thundered from heaven, Hylian sounded his voice. He sent out arrows and scattered them, with lightning he routed them. The channels of the sea appeared, the foundations of the world were exposed at Adonai's rebuke, at the blast of breath from his nostrils. He sent from on high, he took me and pulled me out of deep water. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from those who hated me, for they were stronger than I. They came against me on my day of calamity, but Adonai was my support. He brought me out to an open place. He rescued me, because he took pleasure in me. Adonai rewarded me for my uprightness, he repaid me because my hands were clean. For I have kept the ways of Adonai, I have not done evil by leaving my God. For all his rulings were before me, I did not depart from his regulations. I was pure-hearted toward him and kept myself from my sin. Hence Adonai repaid me for my uprightness, according to my purity in his view. With the merciful, you are merciful. With the champion of purity, you are pure. With the honest, you are honest, but with the crooked you are cunning. People afflicted, you save, but when your eyes are on the haughty, you humble them. For you, Adonai, are my lamp, Adonai lights up my darkness. With you I can run through a whole troop of men, with my God I can leap a wall. As for God, his way is perfect, the word of Adonai has been tested by fire. He shields all who take refuge in him. For who is God but Adonai, and who is a rock but our God? God is my strength and protection. He makes my way go straight. He makes me swift and sure-footed as a deer and enables me to stand on my high places. He trains my hands for war until my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You give me your shield, which is salvation. Your answers make me great. You lengthen the steps I can take, yet my ankles do not turn. I pursued my enemies and wiped him out, without turning back until they were destroyed. I destroyed them, crushed them, They can't get up. They have fallen under my feet. For you braced me with strength for the battle and bent down my adversaries beneath me. You made my enemies turn their backs in flight, so that I could destroy those who hate me. They looked, but there was no one to help, even to Adonai, but he didn't answer. I pulverized them like dust on the ground, pounded and stamped on them like mud in the streets. You also freed me from the quarrels of my people. You kept me to be the head of the nations. A people I did not know now serve me. Foreigners come cringing to me. The moment they hear of me, they obey me. Foreigners lose heart as they stagger from their fortresses. Adonai is alive. Blessed is my rock. Exalted be God, the rock of my salvation. The God who gives me vengeance and makes peoples submit to me. He brings me out from my enemies. You raise me over those who rebel against me. You rescue me from violent men. So I give thanks to you, Adonai, among the nations. I sing praises to your name. He is a tower of salvation for his king. He displays grace to his anointed, to David and his descendants forever. 2 Samuel chapter 23. Here are David's last words. This is the speech of David the son of Yishai, the speech of the man who has been raised up, the one anointed by the God of Yaakov, the sweet singer of Israel. The Spirit of Adonai spoke through me, his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel spoke. The Rock of Israel said to me, a ruler over people must be upright, ruling in the fear of God. Like the morning light at sunrise on a cloudless day that makes the grass on the earth sparkle after a rain. For my house stands firm with God. He made an everlasting covenant with me. It is in order, fully assured, that he will bring to full growth all my salvation and every desire. But the ungodly are like thorn bushes to be pushed aside, every one of them. They cannot be taken in one's hand. To touch them one uses pitchfork or spear shaft, and then only to burn them where they lie. The deeds of David's mighty men. Following are the names of David's warrior heroes: Yosheph-Bashaveh the Tachmoni, chief of the three, also known as Adino the Etzni. He is the one who came against 800 men, whom he killed in a single encounter. After him was Eleazar the son of Dodo the son of Akhoki, one of the three warriors with David when they put their lives in jeopardy against the Pelishtim who were there assembled for battle, while the men of Israel had gone away. He stood firm and attacked the Pelishtim until his hand went into spasm, so that he couldn't let go of his sword. Adonai accomplished a great victory that day, but the people didn't return until he had finished, and then only to plunder the bodies of the dead. After him was Shammah the son of Agi the Harari. The Pelishtim had assembled at Lechi, where there was a plot of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Pelishtim. But he stood in the middle of the plot and defended it, killing the Pelishtim, and Adonai brought about a great victory. During harvest season 3 of the 30 leaders went down and came to David at the cave of Adullam when a company of Pelishtim had set up camp in the Rephaim valley. At that time David was in the fortress, and the garrison of the Pelishtim was in Beit Lechem. David had a craving and said, I wish someone could give me water to drink from the well by the gate of Beit Lechem. The three warrior heroes broke through the army of the Pelishtim, drew water from the well by the gate of Beit Lechem, took it and brought it to David. But he wouldn't drink it. Instead, he poured it out to Adonai. and said, Adonai, heaven forbid that I should do such a thing. Am I to drink the blood of men who went and put their lives in jeopardy? And he would not consent to drink it. These are the things the three warrior heroes did. Avishai the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief of these three. He raised his spear against 300 men and killed them. Thus he had a reputation even among the three. He had the most honor of these three and was therefore made their leader. However, he did not achieve the status of the first three. Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kavtil, was a man of many exploits. He struck down 2 lion-hearted men of Moab. One day when it was snowing, he went down into a pit and killed a lion. Here is how he killed an Egyptian, a man of intimidating appearance. The Egyptian had a spear in his hand, and he went down to him with only a stick, seized the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. These are things that Benaiah the son of Jehoiada did that earned him a name among the three warrior heroes. He had more honor than the 30, but he did not achieve the status of the first three. David put him in command of his personal guard. Asahel the brother of Joab was one of the 30, Elkanan the son of Dodo of Beit-Lechem. Shammah the Harodi, Elika the Harodi. Helitz the Palti, Ira son of Ikesh from Tekoa. Aviezer from Anatot, Mavunai the Hushati. Salmon the Akhoki, Marai the Netophathi. Helith the son of Baana the Netophathi, Ittai the son of Rivai from Gibeah, of the people of Benjamin. Benayahu from Piraton, Hiddai from the Vardas of Gaish. Avi, Alvan the Arvati, Asmavet the Barkami. Eliakba the Shaalvoni, of the sons of Yashan, Yonatan. Shammah the Harari, Achiam the son of Sharah the Arari. Elipholet the son of Achazbai the son of the Markati, Elion the son of Achitophel from Gilo. Hetzrai from Carmel, Pairai the Arbi. Yigal the son of Natan of Zova, Bani the Gadi. Zelek the Ammoni, Nachrai the Beroti, armor-bearer for Joab the son of Zeruiah. Ira the Yitri, Garev the Yitri, and Uriah the Hittite, 37 in all. 2 Samuel chapter 24. The census and the plague. The anger of Adonai blazed up against Israel, so he moved David to act against them by saying, Go, take a census of Israel and Yehudah. The king said to Joab the commander of the army, who was with him, Go systematically through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, and take a census of the population, so that I can know how many people there are. Joab said to the king, May Adonai your God add to the people 100-fold, no matter how many there are, and may the eyes of my lord the king see it. But why does my lord the king take pleasure in doing this? However, the king's word prevailed against Joab and the army officers. So Joab and the army officers went out from the king's presence to take a census of the people of Israel. They crossed the Yarden and pitched camp in Aroer, to the south of the city in the Valley of Gad, went on to Yaza, came to Gilead and continued to the land of Taktam Hodshi. Then they arrived at Dan Yahan, went around to Zidon, and came to the stronghold of Zor. They went on to the cities of the Hivi and of the Kenani, and finished in the south of Yehudah, at Beersheba. When they were done going through all the land, they came back to Jerusalem. It had taken 9 months and 20 days. Joab reported the results of the census to the king. There were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who could handle a sword, while the men of Yehuda numbered 500,000. But after he had taken the census, David was conscience-stricken. David said to Adonai, I have greatly sinned in what I have done. But now, Adonai, please, put aside your servant's sin, for I have done a very foolish thing. When David got up in the morning, this word of Adonai came to the prophet Gad, David's seer. Go and say to David that this is what Adonai says. I am giving you a choice of 3 punishments. Choose one of them, and I will execute it against you. Gad came to David and told him. He said, Do you want 7 years of famine in your land? Or do you want to flee before your enemies for 3 months while they pursue you? Or do you want 3 days of plague in your land? Think about it, and tell me what to answer the one who sent me. David said to Gad, This is very hard for me. Let us fall into the hand of Adonai, because his mercies are great, rather than have me fall into the hand of man. So Adonai sent a plague on Israel from that morning until the end of the specified time. 70,000 of the people died between Dan and Beersheba. But when the angel stretched out his hand toward Jerusalem to destroy it, Adonai changed his mind about causing such distress and said to the angel destroying the people, Enough. Now withdraw your hand. The angel of Adonai was at the threshing floor of Aravnah the Yevuzi. David spoke to Adonai when he saw the angel striking the people. He said, Here, I have sinned, I have done wrong. But these sheep, what have they done? Please, let your hand be against me and against my father's family. Gad came to David that day and said to him, Go, set up an altar to Adonai on the threshing floor of Aravnah the Yevuzi. David went up and did what Gad had said, as Adonai had ordered. Aravnah looked out and saw the king and his servants coming toward him. Aravnah went out and prostrated himself before the king with his face to the ground. Then Aravnah said, Why has my lord the king come to his servant? David said, To buy your threshing floor, in order to build an altar to Adonai, so that the plague will be lifted from the people. Aravnah said to David, Let my lord the king take and offer up anything that seems good to him. Here are the oxen for the burnt offering. You can use the threshing sledges and the yokes for the oxen as firewood. All this, O king, Aravnah gives to the king. Then Aravnah said to the king, May Adonai your God accept you. But the king said to Aravnah, No. I insist on buying it from you at a price. I refuse to offer to Adonai my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 1¼ pounds of silver shekels. Then David built an altar to Adonai there and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. After this, Adonai took pity on the land and lifted the plague from Israel.